Well, hello, welcome. I am so glad you joined me. I'm Maureen Pisani with ProThrive Science-Based Hypnotherapy, and today I really want you to see how perspective changes everything. How we look at life, how we expect life to be, what we expect life to be is actually determined by, yes, unconscious thinking. So I'm going to walk you through different scenarios as to how to do it. How do we approach life? And yes, they are experiences I've personally lived. So many years ago, I used to be married. And one day, I woke up and the TV had died. It was a big old clunker, one of those that weighed like 1,000 pounds. And the husband went to turn it on and it didn't work. So he did whatever he thought he was going to do, unplug and replug and reset, but nothing worked. So he came to the conclusion that the TV had died. So, that's the first thing in the morning. And he is upset. And I'm not saying it as a judgment. This is truly what happened. So he realizes the TV died and he flies off the handle. He's swearing at the TV. He's yelling. He's upset. In the meantime, he's also sharing that the TV had worked for 17 years, believe it or not. And he had lost his cool completely. Now, that's one version of seeing it, right? I came out and I'm looking at this going, what's happened? And he yells, the TV died. And I'm thinking, oh, okay. So first of all, thank you, TV. 17 years is a heck of a long time. 2, time for us to get a flat screen, which would have been bringing us to the 21st century. 3, it's technology, it's electronics. My God, 17 years is amazing. So, same situation, 2 different responses. What happened? He got upset. Now, he didn't get upset verbally. Of course he did. But it wasn't just that. It was emotionally, it was mentally, it was physically. His cortisol was through the roof. His adrenaline was through the roof. His blood pressure was through the roof. Why? For a piece of equipment that stopped working after 17 years. My perspective was, thank you, I appreciate your work, I appreciate what you've shared with me. Now it's time for you to go rest, and now it's time for us to upgrade. How are you dealing with life? Do you get upset at the drop of a hat? Do you lose control? Do you say things out of anger that you don't mean? How many people are you hurting with that? Because once it's out there, it's out there. Once you say it, you can't unsay it. So I want you to start thinking about putting a pause into life. Because to fly off the handle is only detrimental to you, and unfortunately, collateral damage happens to your loved ones. So if you start initially just putting in a pause, just stop, breathe. You feel the trigger, and you know you feel the trigger. Stop and breathe and pause. Take a moment. Is this really that dire? Is it really that serious? I mean, seriously, if it is serious, then yes, fly off the handle. But if it's something that you can control, that you can appreciate from a different perspective, and come in from a more gentle approach, please do, for everybody involved. The other thing I would really want to talk about is when something happens to us, how do we deal with it? Now, I've had my share of health issues, and I've had my share of, oops is what I call them, the situations where you really don't expect it, like a car crash. Over 5 years ago, I was involved in a car crash. I was at a standstill, and I was rear-ended that even with a seatbelt, the impact was so hard, I hit my head on the windshield. Now, it wasn't pretty. That's the understatement of the year. It was not pretty. And I had half of my face was bruised and black eyes and everything, right? So it was painful, uncomfortable, it looked awful, and I felt miserable. People called, people checked in. How are you doing? Now, I had 2 choices on how to answer. I could say, oh my God, I feel awful. This is horrendous. I am in so much pain. What would that have done? It would have reinforced everything, because what I was feeling, then I was saying it, then I was confirming it, then it was locked in. But I didn't really enjoy feeling miserable. So what I did do is, oh, Maureen, I heard you were in a crash. How are you? I'm getting better. Well, 0.1% better than yesterday is still better, right? Oh my gosh, I heard you hit your head. Yes, that's true, but how are you? I'm getting better. It didn't matter what I felt. Every day I said I was getting better. Because then I was locking in, I'm getting better, I'm getting better. And with the unconscious mind, the second you say I'm getting better, it's going to find all the resources to make sure you keep getting better. And it was true, because I did get better. So when it comes to how you deal with life, you're sick. How are you? Oh, it just hurts so bad. Reinforce. How are you? Oh, I don't think I'm going to make it. This is just awful. I'm just done. I'm just done. You're building a self-fulfilling prophecy. Do you really want to do that? No. So come from a space where you're seeing the silver lining. Come from a space where you're seeing how you can improve. Say it. You know the phrase, fake it till you make it? When you're saying things that technically aren't true yet, you're building the scaffolding to a brand new neural pathway in your brain. As soon as you keep saying, I'm getting better, I'm getting better. So I'm building this new circuitry between neurons that before didn't exist. I'm getting better, and it keeps doing it. I'm getting better. The strategy, the scaffolding for the neural pathway is getting stronger. And then the saying goes, fake it till you make it. And that click of when you make it is when that scaffolding now becomes real. And you do have a brand new neural pathway, which then creates a reality within you. That's how powerful your mind and brain are. You can create the outcome that you want. So as you're doing all this, and there's topics that you know you have questions on, email me, text me, prothrivesbh.com. I'm on all platforms. Find me because I'm here to serve. So remember, I help the personal so the professional can succeed. See you later.